Remember, the goal is to develop the time. And if you're playing your slick stuff, but your slick stuff doesn't have a strong time yet, then you're not achieving what our goal is. It sounds nice, but the goal is time. And again, for you new people, be thinking about that, new to jazz. Think about this is what your main goal with jazz music is. So as you're starting to learn different things, you get your guitar thing going and your saxophone or the bagpipe, whatever it is, just the time is your main, the rhythm and the groove is your main thing. And you want to create it, feel it from within, and then play it in that way, like really clearly. Okay? And if that means keeping it simple for now, then keep it simple until you can really play some stuff that is in the pocket. Now, that doesn't mean you have to always do this, but what it means is that it is that is the concept. And there will be times in your improvisation when the time you will let the time go as you're learning to do this. But as you get better at it, you'll be consistent at feeling the time and playing the time in a proactive way, as opposed to a reactive. If you're reactive, that means the rhythm section's playing and you're letting them carry the time and you're just going on top of it, which can sound okay. But what our real goal is for strong improvisation in the jazz style is to take the time from yourself and play it in a strong way. And the rhythm section locks in with that. Okay? So it's a little different than sometimes it seems like. But if you listen to master players, most master players are playing with their clear time. And then the synchronizing with the rhythm section is a negotiation. I mean, we're going back and forth, we're playing with each other, but the soloist really leads the time. That's the thing. And the improvising soloist leads the time in the jazz improvisation. That's what we really want to get done with this exercise. And along the way, playing a melody together is almost the same thing. Everyone has to take an active responsibility for the time as opposed to being passive about it. So that's why you do the do-da-do-da-do thing, because the do-da-do-da thing is really clear. Like you can say la 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 la, and it's not so clear, but do-da-do-da-do has got some punch to it. So we know where we are in the time. We want to learn to feel that. And that's the most essential element of jazz playing, is getting the time, the linear time, to feel good. Okay? That's the most essential thing. You can play good notes and good melodies and stuff and have fun with it, but if you really want to get a real sound of jazz improvisation, that's it. You know, this sense of strong internal time that you then play with authority, okay, with confidence. Okay? Right? So that was my this moment's version of playing in such a way. So now if I'm playing with a rhythm section, it's going to be comparable. You know, I'm trying to play with as much authority and conviction and intention as I can with the time and the harmony. So you can hear me playing harmony. You might not have understood all of it. Some of you did, of course, understand what the harmony was, and some substitutions and some different kinds of, a few different kinds of chordal things, harmonic things, because I've worked for many years on developing my skill with playing linear harmony. That is harmony that's in a line. Normally we think of harmony in a chord all at once. Linear harmony is when you play harmony in a line, right? So the way I play it this way, you can hear the chords going by, if you know the chords. And for those of you who know chords, or recognize the chords, you can still feel the form. I presume by now we've played it enough, you could feel where the form was. And I kept saying, I was really clear with it, so you could hear where I was. But with the rhythm section, it's similar. And when you play that way with the rhythm section is like, cool. Because now we know where everything is, and we know the guy knows where he is. And so it's much easier for a rhythm section to play, rather than to hear somebody playing and it's not really clear with the harmony and rhythm, and it's harder you really have to play in a more, with the rhythm section, you have to play in a real, it's like a relay, a swimming relay, and everybody has to, like the lead person in a relay, or whoever's swimming at the time of the relay, has to really know the pace, they have to know what's going on, and they have to, and everybody depends on that. Otherwise, everybody else has to work a little harder to make it work. And the same thing in the bandstand. Like in the bandstand, everybody, even though rhythm section are playing the chords, the soloist also plays the chords. Otherwise, the rhythm section has got to work harder to play everything, lay everything down. So as you study, each one of you as you study, be thinking about paying attention to what you play and where you play it in the form of the music and with the progression and with the rhythm, so that you can participate in an active way with the rhythm and the harmony. And in that way, the music stays light and buoyant and it moves all the time, right? And it's clear, it's just really clear. And again, this is not me just saying it to say it. Just as I said to everyone over the last couple of days, I haven't said it today, but it's something that I keep saying in general. The answers are in the records. It's one of those things that if you get that together, even if you don't have a ton of licks and tons of fancy stuff, but you come up playing strong time with strong sound and strong basic harmony, people are like, ooh, that's cool. Especially musicians. Musicians can hear somebody flipping their fingers and playing bullshit in a second. We hear it in a heartbeat. We're like, ugh. You know, playing a bunch of fancy stuff that doesn't have any time, we'd be like, you know, because it's not about that. Whereas someone comes in playing simple, but in the pocket, we're like, ooh, cool. You know, organized and clear and strong, that's where it's at. So anyway, that's what I really want to, that's the message, you know, for this part of it. You know, there's a lot of other things, but that particular bit of it, you know, if you can bring that as a soloist, as you're developing your improvisation. Of course, when you're learning, it's going to be where it is, so there's no problem with that. I'm just saying your goal is, you know, to get towards this. That make sense?
Yeah, definitely.